Hi, hello. Happy fall equinox to those who observe the shift of the wheel of the year. I'd like to read today a part of the book that is quite relevant. When I say book, I talk about this book. That is relevant to the change of the seasons and hopefully give you a few ideas on how you could actually celebrate or how you could observe the change of seasons with your kids. So a very easy way to do it is actually to have a seasonal table at home. What a seasonal table is, it is basically just a dedicated space where you put all sorts of different kinds of nature treasures or symbols, if you wish, of what has been going on in the outside world in nature, but also in your inner world. So let's say you're going through a change of seasons yourself. So maybe you're going through a breakup, or maybe you are going through a change like a new job or something like that, like a challenging period or a move or a pregnancy, this kind of thing. So it's not only for kids, you could use it as an adult to have little focal pieces, if you wish, to help you visualize and focus on what has been going on through your life. I will read first about the part of the book, and then maybe I can give you more ideas on how you can use it as an adult as well. So, on the seasonal table, the basics. The seasonal table, also known as season table or nature table, can be found at all Waldorf schools, and also at homes where the parents homeschool using a Waldorf curriculum. And of course at homes where the parents want their kids to experience the cycles of nature, the change of the seasons, the eternal cycle of life. The seasonal table, Seizoenstafel, if you're looking for your Dutch word of the day, doesn't have to be a table at all. It can be as small and as simple or as elaborate, as big as you like. And it's not just for kids either. Of course it helps the little ones remember, experience, process in which part of the wheel of the year we're at. But it can also be a focus point for us adults. It can remind us to be still for a bit and admire what the season has to offer. It's a nice way to be reminded to be more present in the here and now. See, I'm so bad at this, like being present and being in the here and now, that I completely forgot about that aspect of it when making my introduction. Okay, so how can you set your seasonal table or shelf, for example? A nice piece of fabric is an easy way to change the backdrop according to the season. It could be white for the winter with the snow, orange or brown or gold for autumn. It could be green and blue for the summer, or have pastel hues for spring. Nature treasures are what it's all about. So leaves with their many different shades, shapes and sizes, nicely arranged in a small vase or even laying on the top of your cloth, will always look nice. And then, depending again on the season, flowers, acorns, chestnuts, a nice river pebble, seashells and dried seaweed from the shore, feathers, pieces of driftwood or pieces of tree bark and twigs are all examples of what you and the kids could collect. Pictures. Draw your own summer scene or a group of carol singers, or ask the kids to make a drawing inspired by the season. If you use thick cardstock, it will be easier to display your art in a nice frame or picture holder. There is also a great variety of postcards drawn by illustrators inspired by nature and the seasons. And I think if you look on Instagram or Pinterest or Etsy, if you want to support small artists for Waldorf cards, you will come across like many different really nice illustrations that use also Waldorf techniques and are very soft and gentle and so dreamy, really nice also for the kids of younger ages up until toddler years or 4 or 6 years old. It's nice to have these soft hues. Ornaments. You can display your children's craft on the seasonal table. Just make sure to keep it at 1-2 items at a time. I'm laughing because it never happens here. It's chaos. It's always chaos. Otherwise it becomes cluttered too quickly. You can always rotate per day or week. For example, Lulu Maya made a dragon from clay for Michaelmas, and we had him on the seasonal table. Now he's replaced by a clay Sinterklaas boat that she made last year. You can also create or buy lovely felt figures that change with the season. Mother Earth, King Winter, the Root Children, Flower Fairies, they're all part of the Waldorf lore. There are many do-it-yourself packets available as well. A word of warning, when I wrote this, we didn't have the cats yet. The cats have killed, like murdered every single one of these figures I've made throughout the years. So I'd say make them out of like wood. You can have like wooden peg dolls and draw them into all these like figures, you know, instead of using felt, because cats, at least my cats, they love felt and they love to kill felt people. It's sad, it's in their nature, I hear. Books. I like to display a couple of books per week that are relevant to what we're experiencing or celebrating at that moment. For example, in autumn I like to put up a book about birds. There is a postcard with birds as well. The reason for that is that the weather just starts to get cold here in November and there are few berries and nuts left on the bushes, so our feathered friends are visiting us again regularly looking for food. It's a delight to look at them from our dining table with a cup of tea at hand, recognizing their different species, but also trying to figure out which of them were already feeding in our garden last autumn and winter. Okay, back to the nature table. I do have an obsession with birds, to be honest, and even though everyone is trying to chase away jackdaws and crows because they think they're chasing smaller birds away, it's actually not true. You just have to put food on different places for the different species and the different sizes, and they can all live even in a small garden like ours. They will all visit regularly. So, wooden rings and accessories. If you Google season table, you will most likely find a wooden ring with holes on it for candles or decorative figures. There is a wide collection of them, and the brand Grimm started it all, but there are now many small-scale crafters creating similar and one-of-a-kind objects. I don't consider it a must at all, but I have to say that since we got it, it has been easier to set up the seasonal table and display pictures and figures. We've got the Grimm's one, but if you can support a local wood artist, because Grimm's, like honestly, they've become quite big and, you know, they will make their money, while local crafters are more struggling to have like a more steady clientele. So if you can, go on Etsy or your local craft store and see if you can support someone local. You can always add more elements or things you want to highlight on your nature table. When Lulu Maya lost her first tooth, it was proudly displayed there. In the meantime, Vera is changing teeth and she's downstairs now as we speak, and she has a tooth that is like really rotating like 90 degrees like that, and she refuses to pull it out. She is freaky. But once that tooth falls, maybe it also goes on the seasonal table for a while. Keep in mind, if you have babies, toddlers or pets, it's a good idea to have the seasonal table set up somewhere high. I write here, before cats. If you have cats, cats will reach it. No sense. I hope you're feeling inspired to start your own little nature corner. You will see it can deepen your connection with nature and the wheel of the year in the most fun way. So a note about adults. What you could do, let's say you're going through a hard time. You can put, if you use oracle cards or tarot cards, or if you found a postcard you really like with a picture that gives you hope, you can display that card there, for example, or put a crystal or a nice stone. Or if you're missing a friend that is far away, you could put a picture of them as well on the seasonal table and a little drawing of a heart. So just create your own symbols and your own rituals, or you can put a tea candle and light it if you're grieving, if you're missing someone. Or you can always light candles for hope, you know. So it's something that definitely gives me also courage and helps keep my hopes up, and especially during like the winter months that I'm mostly more down than in spring or summer. Just a reminder, the book, you can find it on Amazon, and it is, if you want the Kindle version, until the end of September I have it discounted to just under €1 because I'm trying to get some hopefully positive reviews. So it is your chance to have a look, and if you love hard copies like I do, then if you like it you can buy a hard copy later. But if you just want to browse through it, now it's your chance. So I'd really appreciate it if you go and have a look, and if you're one of the people who already bought it, please do leave a review, because I see people buying, I don't see the reviews yet, so I'm very curious what you think of it. Thanks for watching, have a nice day.